Namaste, very dear sisters and brothers. We are sailing through a very unpredictable and complex period of our life. Many things seems to be repeating in human history. Evolution of certain habits, certain traits is as a result of such calamities. Pandemic of this order. I don't know how many of us have heard it. Very few must have actually gone through it. I was surprised to hear one of the elderly patients, one in UK and one in France, who had actually witnessed and survived 1918 Spanish flu, also survived this coronavirus, even at the age of 100 plus. So you can imagine the immunity level of these two individuals. Both are ladies. Even with this corona, I think it has some partiality. More male are dying than women patients were infected with this. Almost the ratio is, I would say, 2 to 1. Many things play a part with corona, not only the immunity, but also certain habits. Chinese exposure to this particular pandemic, corona pandemic, more male, perhaps twice the population, than the female counterpart were affected. One of the reasons they attribute besides immunity is smoking habits. So we can develop certain good habits and protect ourselves from this mayhem in the form of diseases, health, financial meltdowns, and as a result, the fear. Some of you must have heard Finance Minister of Germany gave up. Was it necessary? It might as well go through the whole situation boldly instead of terminating life in an unnatural way. This crisis, the rapid speed with which it is, I think, gripping the whole globe, is because of our hyper connected world. There are many advantages in this hyper connectivity. At the same time, there is a great amount of disadvantage as well. When such disadvantages take hold of us, then we realize I better move slow. This information, the way they are moving, money from one country to another, goodwill, enmity, diseases, they also pick up speed. If you notice, now the epicenter of the whole corona thing is United States. A lot to say about the freedom people choose. We all have freedom, but freedom to do what is right. I really don't have freedom to do what is detrimental to my health, what is detrimental to the community, what is detrimental to my family at a large. Can I gamble when the health authority says, please maintain a social distance? Do namaste instead of shaking hands and kissing each other on both cheeks. Italians and French, they embraced this namaste culture. I don't know how far will it go. As I was saying, certain habits in certain cultures were evolved out of experiences. Namaste is one of them. To respect the other, to bow before the other's deity within, at the same time maintain a social, respectable distance. In crisis of this magnitude, I think we expect a lot from the government as well as many NGOs and from health sectors. But as individual citizens of this world, we all have a part to play. Why in certain countries this disease is moving very fast? They say draconian approach by China was able to reduce the spread with which this disease was going on, while in certain countries where they enjoy freedom. Freedom at the cost of, you can see now, of your health, of your life. Then what is the use of such a freedom? When the doctors say, please don't do this, and you continue to do that. It's not nice. I think we are hurting ourselves. You must have heard a story. Most of you, it's a story coming from Holland. In that country, once upon a time, there was this boy. One day on his way back from the school, he found water leaking from his dikes. And he put his finger there to stop it. He stayed there all night. But the idea is that he was able to seal the gap with his finger. And he stayed put, considering this as his own responsibility. We have many gaps to fill in when we are talking of corona spread. What are the gaps? Are we able to identify those gaps? World Health Organization has declared that the steps taken by the Indian government is excellent, but not enough. Locking down the country is first step. You would imagine what must have gone through in 1918 during that Spanish flu outbreak. 40 million people died. Close to 500 million citizens were affected. So you can say roughly 8% population who got infected died. And the countries where they were able to maintain this quarantine, they were able to lock down certain infected areas, there were lesser deaths and lesser infection. While the countries or the areas who did not listen, they say, oh, God will save us. Please don't bring God into this picture. God has its own role to play. He has given us the responsibility. If we can work together and fill those gaps, identify those gaps, and responsibly act without simply depending upon government to do. When government says we have seen this, we have this information from all over the world that staying away from each other, maintaining social distancing, and adopting certain habits, hygienic habits, can protect us. It can slow down the spread of this virus. Personally speaking, I'm a pharmacist. I practice as a pharmacist for over 25 years in New York City. I can tell you as a professional in the field of infectious diseases how these viruses, they spread. They attack the host, and they have an entry point. In this case, coronavirus, the entry point is the nasal passages as well as the throat linings. And over these throat linings and over these nasal passages, it tends to stay for between 3 to 4 days. Afterward, having locked in to certain cells, what they call ACE2 protein receptors. ACE2 receptors. When these ACE2 receptors are locked in, then they multiply and go into the system further down the lungs, and that's where the real damage occurs. As long as they are in the throat and the nose, we will have just simple cold, flu-like symptoms. You may also lose odor smelling capacities temporarily, of course. It's a first sign, they say. But once it reaches the lungs, it's a problem. So idea is not to allow it to go down so much that it can really harm us. How to prevent these viruses once they are in our nasal passages, how to get rid of it. You must have also experienced, when we have cold, when you start, why do we sneeze? Have you thought the reason why we sneeze? It's a natural response actually when we are infected with bacteria or virus, or even small things like dust gets into our nose. It's a defensive mechanism. We sneeze and throw the things out. Second thing that happens is it becomes watery. Nose starts watering, eyes starts watering. It wants to throw out the bacteria. It wants to throw out the viruses through this liquid oozing from the nasal passages. Now, if we can manage to clean our nose, the ancient yogic tradition, we have this neti, where they pour water from one part of the nose, one nostril, and take it out from the second nostril, and then they repeat the same thing from this nostril to this nostril. And it's a brilliant process. It cleans up the nose, and I suspect, I hope, that this process of rinsing with tolerable warm water can also do a similar thing. But don't use just the plain water. I would recommend you use slightly hypertonic solution than isotonic solution. I'll tell you the difference. Our blood, our saliva, our tears, they have some amount of salt, what they call normal saline, 0.9% sodium chloride is present. If you want to use this concentration, you have to take 100 ml of water and 900 milligrams of salt, boil it, cool it, and then use this as a neti solution. There are readily available neti bottles also. My favorite one is by Nail Made, which is made in USA. I would like to demonstrate it to you. You can order this through Amazon, or you can even fabricate one at home. You can use a 100 ml syringe, plastic syringe, and fill it up with this solution. Or if you don't have 100 ml or measurable syringe, approximately measure 100 ml or 200 ml of water, put enough amount of salt to make it hypertonic, means not exactly 900 milligrams, but little less than 2 grams of salt in this 100 ml of water. Advantage of hypertonic, little extra salt, will be because of this, nose will continue to secrete more and more water to bring the outside saline to isotonic level. It will throw out more water from inside and allow this hopefully these viruses also to get drained along with it. So first thing I would recommend is twice a day or 3 times a day, if you can, use this nail bed bottle, or if you have a vessel at home for neti, you can do it at home. For your understanding, I'll demonstrate this to you here. So this is that bottle I was talking to you about. It's there is already a mark there up to which we fill the water, slightly warm water and tolerable extent, and then you put some salt in it. There is ready-made packages available. Otherwise, approximately you think that this is 1000 milligrams, it should be enough. And then you see how this bottle is. This is a plastic bottle. I already filled it up with water and salt. There is a tube below. It touches the below exactly. So when we press this, the water will come from here, go up here, and then it will do its job. So I'll demonstrate this to you. So put it under with this nostril, and then push this, and then you will be able to see the water coming from the other part of the nose. Similarly, you can do from this side. This is neti. Hopefully, this should be able to get rid of most of these coronaviruses waiting to hook up to this ACE2 protein receptors. We are still waiting for some medication that will block this ACE2 protein receptor so that corona cannot hook onto it. Another thing I would like to recommend is you must be having these eye drop bottles at home. If it is expired, throw away the contents from that eye drop bottle, something like this, and fill it up with oil, especially tilka oil or sesame oil, and equal amount of mustard oil, and then put 2 to 3 drops in each nostril. You can do this 2-3 times a day. Now the advantage of this oil would be you are able to hold on. It captures, it grips not only the dust but even micro things like microbacteria or even viruses. It captures it. It will also moisturize your nasal passages. Whenever the nasal passages are moisturized, they remain moist, there will be a greater level of immunity. So that's a second technique that you can use twice a day. You can use the mixture of mustard oil. Why I am saying mustard oil to be mixed with the sesame is some people may not be able to tolerate the impact of mustard oil, but some people, I think, they are used to, in North India especially, they do use this during winter times. And such habits, this new, as I was saying, cultural habits in a geographical area, they are developed out of need. During winter time, when there is so much of cold season, flu-like symptoms rampant everywhere, they will use this mustard oil. This is ancient wisdom to capture dust, capture bacteria, capture viruses. Third technique I would like to share with you is this, we use this vaporizer during the cold season. Why? When we use this hot steam coming out of the vaporizer, it increases the blood circulation in the nasal passages and the throat. Along with this increased blood circulation, what happens? We get a lot of antibodies circulating in that area, and that will capture the bacteria as well as the viruses. Another reason why we should do this is the high temperature created by this vapor will destabilize virus, as well as its hooks on ACE2 protein receptor will also slow down or can be destroyed. It's a complex molecules are present in mustard oil as well as sesame. I cannot claim with surety, but I am sure certain viruses, where they compete for certain receptors, these ingredients will block them.
Daaji also recommends a form of chest physiotherapy as shown in the video. This can be performed on people suffering from congestion as well as healthy people and children. It will break up and prevent the buildup of mucus. It can be done for a few minutes 2 or 3 times in a day. It is also recommended to gargle with warm saline water 2 or 3 times in a day.
Some of us are clueless. Some of us are so afraid of these things. But please, don't be afraid. Your fear, unfortunately, however justifiable, will reduce your immunity. Fear reduces immunity by increasing the stressors in the system, suppresses the immune system. T cells, or what they call certain protective WBCs, they stop generating because the bone marrow is suppressed under the stress. So I wish you, please do not be afraid, be bold, and get over this. Let's get over this in a very heartful way. This inner connection that we talk about, social connection. What makes social connection so important? It is because of this emotional bond that we share with each other. something that we enjoy to do, something that we are part of, a family kind of a thing. See, I do good thing for others. Why? Or some people do good things for us. Why? It is ultimately the use of that invisible altruistic energy. When we are joyful and share good things, we are spending good vibes, we are spreading good vibes rather, and through these good vibes, good chats, good laughter, we are able to increase the somehow immunity level. When the fear is reduced, immunity bounces back. Isolation is a great thing under the circumstances. As I was suggesting or sharing the observations made by the doctors and the healthcare givers during the 1918 Spanish flu, that the cities and communities who decided to lock down remain in isolation, and they stopped traveling from one place to another. There, this pandemic did not do a damage as much as people who did not listen to this lockdown or quarantining themselves or isolating themselves. Not only we are able to protect us, our families, but we are able to protect others as well. So we do not want to create this chain reaction multiplying into so many and taking up the whole community. US prediction is that there may be 200,000 deaths only in United States. This is based on the percentage they are applying, 4 to 5%. Even if you consider 2% death rate out of these people who are affected, and if out of this few billion people that we are on this globe, imagine just 2% of the population, it will be a disastrous situation. If a one person from Wuhan area purchasing something in the wet market, if one person can spread virus all over the world, do you think this isolation that we are cooperating with, self-quarantining with, will prevent widespread, which is already there? Much more will be required, much more than isolation, much more than quarantining ourselves. When someone somehow need to find the medication, vaccinations to prevent this from going any further. We can try to prevent with these old well-proven techniques, but there is no guarantee. What I have just recommended to you is a good hygienic habit, even if it may not prevent any infection, but it's a great thing. And since our elders have been using this for eons of time, and it had prevented them from getting flu or cold-like symptoms, I thought of sharing this with you. Worst scenario, what will happen? It will be as good as not using anything. It's not going to harm your health anyway. During our working days, didn't we think that, oh, I wish I had a 1 month long quiet time with my family? This is a time. Now when we have been gifted somehow in a very unpredictable way, I think we should appreciate it, make the best of it. Some of you might argue that, no, I want my free time at my terms, not because of this bug. Agreed. But we have no other choice, so let's make best use of it. We want to prevent this bug from spreading all over the globe. We need to protect our very near and dear ones. So this little sacrifice that we call isolation is too small a sacrifice. It's nothing. Imagine every family losing one person. It would be disastrous. My heart broke down when I heard that in New Jersey, one family of 12 lost 5 people. Grandmother, mother, son, and 2 grandchildren, just within 36 hours. Why? affectionate families, what do? Even if they are sick, they hug each other. And especially certain cultures, they have this habit of hugging all the time. That created this ruckus, this ignorance that I can claim love only by hugging. I think we have to move away from such habits, at least during this troubled time we are facing. While you are at home, packed up in the cozy bedrooms and living rooms, with perhaps grandparents around, parents, children, grandchildren. I think it's time that we spend a lot of time with our children, grandchildren, share stories, read books. It's the time when we can help them develop newer habits. Just imagine if you can read 2 books during this time per week, and later on 1 book a week. Minimum you can finish 50 books in 1 year, and in 10 years you will help this child finish 500 books. It will be a wonderful thing. People who pray together, people who eat together, people who play games together in a family, their bonding is of a different nature. Very simple thing like praying together, doing puja together, or meditating together in a family creates a very special vibrations. Well, social distancing is different from emotional distancing. There are many of us whose families are overseas, or some of you are in a city, your parents are in a village. I'll share with you a very special method which we use in Heartfulness way. Then when you want to share your love with someone who is remote, you can sit comfortably in your bedroom, or you can sit in your living room, or wherever you are. Gently close your eyes, focus your attention towards the heart. Think of the other person whom you love so much present in front of you, and transmit that love from your heart, imagining that your beloved is receiving at the other end, be it your father, be it your mother, be it your spouse, be they your children or friends or community members or your colleagues at work, and see what happens. This will definitely resonate in their hearts as well. And over a period of time, you will know that bond, which was there earlier before using this technique, has now become even stronger and more intense. So few hours of this practice will go a long way. Moreover, when you have free times. Right now, we all have free time. At least more time than we used to have earlier for ourselves. What do? Might as well make the best of it. Let's meditate. Let's go inside ourselves. There's a greater wealth waiting to be explored. I assure you, you'll be surprised with what you carry within yourself, a treasure of spiritual wealth. That's where my expertise is actually. Though I'm a pharmacist, my role today is to spread awareness of meditation, through meditation awakening the need of spiritual fulfillment. Of course, we should not get into spirituality also so much that our material world, our family duties suffer. One should not be at the cost of the other. Like a bird flies with 2 wings, I must be able to soar higher and higher by existing, by balancing my 2 wings, spiritual and material. I invite you to try this. Meditate with your family members. It's a very simple process. Now you please watch this video how we meditate. It will be a guided meditation. After this session of meditation, we'll once again meet and conclude the session.
Now, you will be guided through a process of relaxation and meditation. During the meditation, please be open to receiving pranahuti, which is a transmission from the source of all existence. This transmission can rejuvenate every cell in your body. Sit comfortably and close your eyes very slowly and very gently. Let's begin with the toes. Wiggle your toes. Now, feel them relax. Feel healing energy from the earth move up into your feet and ankles. Then up to your knees, relaxing your lower legs. Now feel the healing energy move up your legs, relaxing them. Relax your thighs. Now, deeply relax your hips, stomach, and waist. Relax your back. From the top to the bottom, your entire back is relaxed. Relax your chest and shoulders. Feel your shoulders simply melting away. Relax your upper arms. Relax each muscle in your forearms. Relax your hands right up to your fingertips. Now relax your neck muscles. Move your awareness up to your face. Relax your jaw, mouth, nose, eyes, earlobes, facial muscles, forehead, all the way to the top of your head. Feel that your whole body is completely relaxed. Scan your system from top to toe, and if there's any part of your body that is still tense, painful, or unwell, spend some more time immersing it in the healing energy of the earth. When you are ready, move your attention to your heart. Rest there for a little while. Feel immersed in the love and light in your heart. Remain still and quiet, and slowly become absorbed in yourself. Now, suppose that the source of divine light is already present within your heart, and that it is attracting you from within. Gently relax into that feeling. If you find your awareness drifting to various thoughts, do not fight them and do not entertain them. Let them be, while simply reminding yourself that you are meditating on the source of divine light in your heart. Allow yourself to become more and more absorbed within. Stay with this feeling for the next 20 minutes. Now, keeping your eyes closed, gently ease out of meditation. Observe and savor the condition that you have just experienced. Let this condition become a part of you. Slowly open your eyes, carrying the condition with you. Meditate in this way as often as you like. You can also slowly extend the period of meditation up to an hour. You will cherish this journey within.
I invite you all to join me tomorrow. Starting from tomorrow actually for another 3 days, and if you like these 3 days of meditation, you can challenge yourself for another 90 days and see what sort of transformation it can really bring about. I started this meditation when I was 18 years of old during my college days. I haven't regretted a bit. Every moment I have enjoyed. As a result of making this a part of my life, I feel that my life is enriched, not only materially, spiritually, but in many, many dimensions. You are able to perceive this. The best part of it is you develop such a level of consciousness which will surprise you. Oh, is it me talking? Is it me feeling these things? Is it me who has become this? You will be surprised when you just practice this only for 90 days and see what sort of change it can bring about in your being, in your consciousness. So I welcome you to participate and enjoy the 3 master classes. The first master class is about meditation. Why meditation? How to do meditation? How to tackle problems, especially thoughts during meditation, how to go deeper in meditation and attain samadhi. Second master class is on cleaning. What are we cleaning? What are sanskars? How do they prevent our consciousness from expansion? How this cleaning help us in merging finally with God? And third, very important aspect of all these heartfulness practices is connecting with our source. How to pray and connect. What sort of words should we use? What sort of attitude I must have before I pray or during the prayer? How I can continue with the same consciousness during my working hours. I may meditate every day, but how to carry on with the impact of this meditation with open eyes during my worldly affairs. So I, with all my heart, invite you to join and do this meditation while you are at home from the comfort of your own bedroom or living room. You can ask me as we go along any questions that may have. All the informations will be shared with you, and I'll be very happy to answer and resolve some of your queries. Thank you all so much. Pranams.